With enough volunteers and more projects in store like this one done by the Campbello studio, Omaha hopes to win enough battles to win the war against graffiti. For the Omaha News, I'm Dustin Kocha. And it's here at the Chris Library where you can find more events like the Ning Zhao Art Gallery throughout the year. For more information, visit www.unomaha.edu. For the Omaha News, I'm Dustin Kocha. The men's and women's soccer teams are playing their home games at Chili Greens, but with the move to Division I and a new student desire to see the games, seating has become an issue. Times are tough. The economy is the worst that it's been since 1965 when President Lyndon B. Johnson launched the War on Poverty. People from every city and every state have felt the effects. More and more people like Tori French are feeling the pain in our own city.
I'm being evicted from my apartment, and I have no place to live. I have no family here. I have nobody to go to.
Unfortunately, there are too many others that are in Tori's situation. The Census Bureau recently reported that 1 out of every 6 people in the United States lives in poverty, and 9% are jobless. And it's not just the uneducated who are suffering, says jobless Omaha native Lori Harris.
A lot of people that I know that were working class people that have educations, degrees. These are people with master's degrees. They're not working.
No jobs often leads to another problem: no health insurance. The Census Bureau recently reported that nearly 50 million Americans are now without health care coverage, the most in 20 years.
The prices that I've heard that have been quoted to me, it'd take 2 jobs to cover insurance for that one 19-year-old child I have.
One injury or sickness and a trip to the emergency room can leave an uninsured family financially crippled for years.
She has to go full-time to even qualify for the insurance at her job. It's nothing like it was before. Nothing's the same. And I understand everything has to change, but this is tough.
Graffiti, what's believed to be an art form for much of the young generation across the country, is actually a crime. This act of vandalism, which involves spray painting words, designs, or just about anything on anything, has become more prevalent in our city than ever. The mayor's office has reported tens of thousands of acts of graffiti throughout Omaha in the last year. With more than 1,000 volunteers having done their part, Campbello's art studio is looking to make an impact with their own art form.
We basically approached the mayor's office and they gave us permission to do this, and it's a really good opportunity to do something and to give back to the city in some way.
So what are they doing? Artists and students from around the city that attend Campbello's art studio are painting murals under all the overpasses on the Keystone Trail.
This year we completed 4 murals. Next year we're looking at completing 4 to 6 murals. So we're going to roughly do about 4 to 6 murals a year in order to get that completed.
Campbello's art studio has taken a firm stand against graffiti. Their goal is to not only inform people about the different art forms, but to use them to positively enhance the city.
The students are really helping drive it, and the mentors are really good at helping them learn about collaborating with community and creating a project that is beneficial and enlightening and enriching to the community.
With enough volunteers and more projects in store like this one done by the Campbello studio, Omaha hopes to win enough battles to win the war against graffiti. For the Omaha News, I'm Dustin Kocha. Depression affects 121 million people worldwide, resulting in 850,000 suicides every year. But in Omaha, there's an organization that holds meetings to try to prevent suicides from happening. John Carter gives us a closer look. While some people are getting rid of old medications, others are having problems getting the prescriptions they need. On Tuesday, President Obama issued an executive order to the Food and Drug Administration to get advanced warning of shortages. It also instructed the FDA to speed up processing of medication production so it doesn't take as long for the paperwork to go through to make more medicine. A law similar to the executive order has been stuck in Congress since February, and this executive order is President Obama's way of telling them to speed it up while saving lives. Coming up after the break, Marcia Adler of UNO Student Health Services will join us to talk about the upcoming flu season and the upcoming Health and Wellness Fair. And I'm Dustin Kocha. Your average college student that needs federal aid leaves school with a bachelor's degree and, oh yeah, $20,000 or $30,000 of debt. That's excluding Stafford, Perkins, state, college, and private loans. The Know Before You Owe plan, recently introduced by President Obama, is catching the attention of college students. Jacob York has the story. This week, the National Center for Education Statistics released their nation's report card for 4th grade and 8th grade math and reading scores. Nebraska ranked right at the national average for 4th and 8th grade math. However, the state's reading scores were higher than the national public average for both 4th and 8th grades. Iowa was the exact opposite, with higher than average math scores while maintaining the national average for reading scores. Well, after the move to Division I, UNO is making a lot of changes with its athletic programs. With multiple teams finding new places to play, the softball team will also find themselves at a new home. I found out more about where they're going to be playing this spring. UNO will be the first team to play on the new complex, practicing as early as mid-January. Their first home game on the new field is going to be a big one as they take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers March 20th.